Hi, this is Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, and today we're making a card with country flowers from the new Stampin' Up! Catalog. So here's the card we're going to make, and we're starting with a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of peach pie, scored at 5 1/2, and we're going to layer that with a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of Lost Lagoon, and we're going to stamp on the background here with this small little flourish stamp from the stamp set and just create a background to add a little pizzazz to that Lost Lagoon layer. So I'm just scattering some of these images across, trying to get several along the edges because the center is going to be covered up by the main image. So keep that in mind when you're doing this and creating a stamped background. So you can see here I'm concentrating on the edges mainly. So next we're going to add a piece of ribbon, and this is a good time to do this when you're putting ribbon on a card, to do it on that bottom layer that goes over the card base. And so I'm taking a 14 by 16 inch piece of peach pie ribbon, and I'm going to tie a simple knot, and that is going to be toward the bottom of our card front. So I'll slide that down a little bit. I'm trying to decide which way I want it to go here. The stamp doesn't have a direction, so I can choose which side I want as top or bottom. So now let's glue that on. I'm using our Tombow Monomoto liquid glue and just going to put that on the card base, and we'll set it aside and let it dry. So next we're taking our 3 by 4 1/4 layer and 2 3/4 by 4 inch layer, and these are pieces. The top one, the designer paper, is from the Thoughtful Journey collection. It is beautiful with some beautiful colors and makes for great backgrounds, and I decided to back it with the peach pie that we're using for our card base. So we glued that right on the front. So next I chose my Stampin' Blends to match the colors in the designer paper, and I'm going to punch a 2 3/8 inch circle to stamp this bucket on, and you'll see why I do this in a minute. I want that curved bottom. We're doing only a partial image. I'll go ahead and color this in Wild Wheat, and I'm going to glue this onto another Lost Lagoon 2 3/8 inch circle. And so I thought, if I'll go ahead and stamp it on a circle of the same size, I'm going to have that curved bottom that will match the bottom of my Lost Lagoon circle. And again, this is for the main image on the card front. So I'll get my snips and I'm going to cut that out, and then we're going to work on the rest of the image there with the flowers. So we're stamping in Memento Black ink again, and I'm going to color these. I chose Mossy Meadow for the greenery and the stems. I'm using some dark there and going back with the light and blending it. And then I'm going to choose a pretty peacock. I start by coloring all in light on that little petaled flower there, and then I'm going to go back and add some little dark areas with the dark shade just for fun. Next we have Calypso Coral for these little petaled blooms, using dark and light, and a lot of times I'll switch it up sometimes. Sometimes I start with dark, sometimes I start with light, but most of the time I usually use my dark and then blend in with my light blends color. So last color here is the peach pie in light and dark on those smallest blooms, and then just filling that in. I'm going to get the coordinating die, match it up, use a piece of Post-it tape and cut it out. So you can see I've glued that bucket there on the bottom of that circle, and we're going to adhere the floral image just on top like it's coming out of the bucket. So now I need to add a little sentiment. I have a scrap strip of basic white, and I've got my Lost Lagoon ink, and I'm stamping that Best Friend Ever sentiment from the stamp set, but I decided I just wanted friend, so I'm trimming that out. Just have a little sliver there, and I'm going to attach it to the card front just below the bucket there to the right. To add a little bit of embellishment, I'm using some of these peach pie shimmer gems, and then we're going to have a nice card that we can finish the inside as we like. You can see how I did this one, and I hope you will give this a try and take a look at that country flower set. Be sure and visit my website at inkinspirations.com, and while you're there, sign up for my mailing list so you can get my weekly emails. This is Lisa Brown with Ink and Inspirations, inspiring you to create, share, and make a difference. Take care. Bye-bye.